Bartlett. The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your testimony. I was in small business in another life before I came here, so I understand what we're talking about. For a small business to be able to pay their taxes, don't they have to charge more for their product or their service?
Well, I think, there's the U.S. tax code. People can figure out what they're going to do. So that's a presumption that you're welcome to make.
Well, I think most people would agree with that. Doesn't that then make this a very regressive tax, since that it simply becomes another part of the cost of doing business, and if they can't pass it on to the consumer, they go out of business, don't they? So doesn't that make tax on business a very regressive tax? Because the poorest of the poor have to buy the products of business. Bill Gates doesn't care. He can pay the tax. Why do we want to have this really regressive tax? Why don't we make this a fair tax, just not tax business at all, and tax the people who buy the product? Isn't that fairer?
Like I told your colleague, I'm going to defer on broad tax policy and broad characterizations of how the taxes work. My job's to kind of get it technically right and make sure we administer it fairly.
I understand that. I understand that you don't develop policy, that you simply administer the policy that is developed from the laws that the Congress passes. But if you really look at the tax on business, if they can't pass that on as a part of the cost of doing business, then they can't continue in business. So then that makes it a very regressive tax. And my question is, why do we want to have regressive taxes? Why don't we simply tax the product when it's bought by people rather than increasing the cost of the product? Wouldn't that greatly simplify the tax?
Again, I think you're talking about a VAT.
No, sir, I'm not talking about a value-added tax. That is a horrible tax. It is a hidden tax. And no, I like a consumption tax. In fact, I would like the tax in big red letters, big red numbers, at least as large as the cost of the product, so that when you bought a product, you knew what taxes you were paying. I remember when I was younger, you went to the gas station, you bought your gasoline. There were a number of numbers on the gas pump there, and it was the cost of the gas and the cost of the taxes that were added to it. Now it's just all lumped in together, and we have, I think it's 40-some cents taxes we pay in Maryland, but that's hidden. That's hidden. Whenever taxes are hidden, they are easier to collect, aren't they?
Again, these are all conversations that are very interesting to me, but, the kind of broad characterizations of what's hidden, what's not, what's regressive, what not, I'm gonna stay away from.
I understand. I'm always concerned that we want to tax businesses, not understanding that what we're doing is hurting the poorest of the poor who have to buy the product of that business. And since you tax the business, you increase the cost of the product necessarily, or the small business can't stay in business if they can't collect enough money to pay their taxes, right? So now we've increased the cost of the product, and I'm having trouble understanding why we want to hurt poor people. I would like to make things cheaper for poor people and to collect the taxes from those who can pay the taxes. Last year, I think 52% of Americans got more from government than they paid in the government. And, why would we want to increase the cost of the things that these people are buying by taxes? See, I would like to have a zero tax on business. I think that's the fairest tax, the simplest tax, and then simply to collect it from the consumer. Why wouldn't that be a better tax system? I know you're not in policy, you're in administration, but wouldn't that simplify your job if we did that?
Again, I encourage you to take it up with the Ways and Means Committee and the other tax writing committees.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your testimony. Thank you.